Hey everyone, so today I'm going to share with you two FX chains that I use for making the sounds that you heard in the video at the beginning. First, you choose a sound with a strong tonal component, and it doesn't really matter if it's good or bad, because for example mine is bad, but at the end of the chain it's going to be so overprocessed that it doesn't really matter. And the first plugin that I used was M-Ratio. You can use whatever you want, but the point of this plugin is to extract the tonality of the sound, and from there we can start processing it. Then I added uber loud for a small boost. Then I selected the left channel only, because we're gonna process a lot the stereo width, and by making it mono right at the beginning, it's gonna be much more consistent on different materials, and that's what I'm looking for when I make an FX chain. Here I split the chain in two parallel processes so that I have a clean low end and I can process as much as I want the high end by using a high pass filter. And here comes the main plugin of my FX chain, which is Ripple Phaser. You can use any plugin that you want, any phaser, any pitch modulation. The point of this is to get some liquid texture in the sound, and from there you can keep process it and get more artifacts. As you can hear, the stereo width is all over the place already, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna control it after and it's not a problem. Then I use Filter Freak with the envelope follower function on, so that the sound is a bit tighter and I don't get long tails. Now some mid-side EQ to control the stereo width, as we were saying. And finally some uber loud, just to have a little bit more punch. And as I was saying before, this was the high end of the process, and for the low part I just use a low pass filter on the low end just to keep everything clean. And both the low end and the high end together sound like this. And so far we got to a pretty decent result, but it still misses the punchiness. So in this final part of the chain I added some dynamic control and some cleanup in the high frequencies. I started with autopan, which is just an LFO applied on the volume, just to give it a specific shape. Then I added a series of compressors, OTT, and my rule of thumb to know when to stop is just keep adding, and when it starts to sound bad, you just remove the last one and see if you like it. And it was definitely way too harsh, so I had to add soothe just to remove those nasty high frequencies. And now that the chain is in a pretty good spot with the sound, I wanted to test it with other sources to see if I needed to tweak it more to make it consistent. And another tip that I want to give you is to always try to modulate parameters with random LFOs. Here I modulated the parameters of the phaser because it was my main effect in the chain, and the results were more pronounced and they sounded like this. The second chain is much smaller and way less flexible, because it works only with sound that have a punchy low end. I I used mGranular MB from Melda. I only processed the mid and kept the low end clean, just as usual, and it sounds like this. Then I added the Ransighter to make it brighter. Uber loud as always to make it beefier. I wanted to add tonalities to the sound, so I used a free plugin called Lagrange, which I really liking recently. And it's pretty cool because it adds tonality to any sound, and it sounds very, very natural, not metallic at all, and I really like it. The sound started to have too much high end, and I didn't really like it because it was kind of distorted as well. So I used a denoiser from RX to keep only the tonal part of the low end and remove the harshness of the high end. I think it's already in a very good spot, and I added Z noise from Waves just for the fun of it. I don't think it really needs it, but it sounded cool and I left it there. Just like for the other chain, I wanted to try a more extreme effect, so I added a delay before mGranular MB, right at the beginning, and this is how it sounds. I also tried a variation with Lagrange and pitch shift delay at the end without the previous delay, and this is how it sounds. And this was it for today. Thank you for watching. This was a shorter video than usual, but I'm gonna upload more frequently now, and I'm gonna leave you with the final redesign.